Hello everyone and welcome for this new tutorial. Last time we created a landscape with some grass, with some road and some other stuff. And today we will use this landscape and we will add a lot of stuff with PCG. We will use PCG to add some forest, we will add some rock, we will see how to change the grass, we will see some optimization stuff that we can actually do. We will also see how to use the layer from the landscape to use it in PCG to actually show stuff when the layer is grass, when the layer is the road. We will see how to do that. We will go in Unreal. So here is what we got last time. First, one thing to actually optimize the frame rate. Let's launch the game and see what we actually made. We have this nice landscape with some grass. We have some water and stuff. And we can see that we are around 60 to 70 frames per second FPS. If we go into the show stat, we can show the FPS and we can show some stat. If I go into advanced, we can go and get our GPU. If we press true to this, we can see a lot of stuff. We can see how much time this thing takes for our GPU to render. This shadow depth, at maximum, it's almost 4 to 5 seconds on our GPU. So it's killing our frame rate. And what the shadow depth is how much time it takes to render all of the shadow. I'm gonna remove the GPU and I will show you what is actually killing our shadow. We have nothing on our landscape, so there is not much that are actually killing our shadow. The thing that are actually killing our shadow is this, is the grass. If I zoom in, we can see that for each little piece of grass, we are actually rendering a shadow, and the shadow is moving. We can see that it's moving with the wind. So this is using a lot of resources to actually calculate the shadow, showing the shadow on the floor for each piece of grass. So we can fix that by going into our foliage. If I get my foliage, in here we have the shadow cache invalidation behavior. The thing that we will use is static. By using static, the shadow of the grass will still be there, but it's not gonna move. You're gonna have always the same place. And you will see there will be a big difference in our frame rate, but no difference in the actual game. Now if I launch the game, we are very close to 80 FPS now. And if we actually check the grass, we can see that the shadow, they are not moving anymore. And when we are actually playing the game, we cannot really see the difference. If I put again my GPU, we can see that we won 1 to 2 milliseconds on the shadow depths. Now that we have fixed that, we can go and use PCG. So we'll go and create a new folder. We'll call this PCG, and we'll actually use that for our tree. PCG Trees. It's always the same thing. I'm using the surface sampler. Then I will transform the point. Transform point to randomize them. Absolute rotation. I will put 1.2 to 1.5. Then we'll use a density filter, and then we'll check that. This into the world, and we'll increase the scale. Okay, 350 is good, and this maybe we'll use 25. So one thing that we need to do is actually we need to remove all of the trees that could spawn into the river. We can see that we have some that are spawning into the river. We will use the layer in the landscape to actually fix that. How to do that? We will go into our PCG, and in here, if I press A, this is the inspect. If we go on the bottom left, we can open our PCG tree and our PCG component, and we have a lot of data. For example, this box is at this position. It has this rotation, this scale, and so on and so on. We can see on which layer this point is. So we can see that this one is on the grass, but there is some that's gonna be on the underwater. So something that we can do is that we can subtract. We'll use the subtract and we'll plug these two into the A into the B. Now we can choose on which stuff we will use into the input. First, we will use the density. On the input source 2, we'll remove this and we will use the name of our layer. It's underwater. And then we want some density. The density of the point, which is this. For example, this one is 0.9. We will remove 1 to this point, and the density will be negative, so it will be at 0. So by using a density filter, we'll actually remove it. So before going, we will just disconnect this and we'll use the density filter after that. I'm gonna remove the debug, and I will just plug this transform point directly into the subtract. It will be better. Okay, this one was not good, so it will be the density, and we will do minus underwater, the name of our layer. Now if I check, now everything that is on the underwater layer, for example, all of this is black, so we can remove them with a density filter. You can see all of this is black. All of this is going to be removed from the density filter. We'll go and plug this to the density filter, and maybe we will change that to get from 0.8. We will debug it to see what's going on. And it's way better now. Now we'll do the same for our road. The issue with the road is that we are using the grass layer. We are doing, if you remember on the last time what we did is that we are painting on the grass and we are doing minus painting. So if we don't paint grass, we will paint the dirt. That's from the landscape material. We actually need to change that and create a road, a specific road layer. So we will be able to use that layer and do a subtract to remove all of the blocks that are on the road. We will go into our landscape. And here we will create a new landscape layer. We need a layer sample. We'll call this road path. And we can use a new blend material attribute. I will use the dirt layer because I like this color. This into the alpha. We can plug this in here. Now we have a dirt layer. I'm gonna save. We will need to change all of our road brush. We change from grass to road path. And we will put 1 into the final opacity. That to all of the road brush, road path, 1, road path, and 1. Okay, now we need to change also into our landscape. So when we go into the paint mode of the landscape, we can see that our road path, there is no layer info. So we'll create a non-weight blended layer. Okay, so now we have our road path layer info. And now I will go back to the selection mode. If I go into my PCG, if I press A to inspect and I go check what's going on, we will see that we have our road path there. So we will duplicate this subtract, plug the 2 into the out and this one into the in. Just be careful that this is not plugged anymore. It will be density, it will not be underwater, it will be road path. And now if I go check, okay, I had a little bug, it was not refreshing. Let me see, let's get this road path. Yeah, we got a little issue, it was not refreshing. As we paint the layer before creating the layer info. So just by clicking this, true and false, it will reload our layer. We'll add on all of our stuff. So now we don't have any more tree on our road. We still have a lot of trees, so maybe we'll change the density filter. It's already to 0.8, so we will change the surface sampler. The point per square meter, we will lower this, maybe to 0.8, maybe to 0.02. I think this is better. And now we can actually spawn our tree. Remove D and A to remove the D for the debug, A for the inspect. And we can now do some static mesh spawner. We will choose the mesh and tree. Now we'll use the instance static mesh component. The foliage and grass. The foliage is the type of mesh that we paint with the foliage with this foliage mod. It will spawn with the PCG as the same as the foliage from there. The grass, this grass is like using the landscape grass. And this hierarchical instance static mesh component, it's to be able to change with the LOD. We don't have any LOD on our tree because we are using nanite, so we can just use the instance static mesh component. Then we will get our tree, for example this one. This will be one of our tree. We don't have virtual texture for that. It's not movable, it will be static. This, we will change this, maybe to 2000. And we'll keep it like that. We'll save and check what's going on. Let's check our FPS if it's not crashing down. It's kind of okay, like we did with the grass. Change this shadow cache to static. For example, there we'll put 2000 for the start curl, and on the end curl, maybe something like 25,000 will be nice. And the result is pretty good. We have 60 FPS. We cannot see the tree. We can maybe see in the very, very far distance the tree ring, but it's pretty good. We have a very big forest. Now we'll go and add some more tree. As the setting will be the same, we can just duplicate. In here on index, we can duplicate and we just change the tree. Maybe we'll put this one. And I will put another one. Duplicate. Maybe this one. Let's save and let's check. This tree is a little weird. It's very small. But it looks okay. This little tree. So let's go with that for our trees. Now I would like to actually change the grass because we use the landscape grass, but I would like to use PCG for the grass. So we'll create a PCG for foliage. We'll create a new PCG foliage. And we will spawn our grass. We will spawn some flower. It will look nice. Let's get... We'll do the exact same thing. Surface sampler. Some transform point. Then we need the subtract, which will be density minus underwater, and the output will be density. Okay, we'll do another subtract. This will be a road path. And now we can, static mesh spawner, we can spawn our grass. So I will get the grass from the landscape grass. This one, just click on it. Now we're able to click there to add it there. We'll use the grass instance because we are doing grass. It should be static. No collision for the grass. Up, up, up. In here we'll put static. In here 2000. And we will add some curl 2000 and 20,000. It's exactly the same that we have chosen here. We put 15,000 by the way. So we put 15,000. Now we can save and we will need to play with our surface sampler to actually show more grass. So I'm going to remove the landscape grass from the material. Let's get into our landscape material and we will remove this. Just unplug in case we want to use it. Okay. I will add my PCG. Let's add my PCG foliage into the scene. I will copy the scale and I will put it on the other one. It will be the same. Paste up. Okay. So we have some very little patch of grass. And it's still showing on the road and in the water. So we need to check that. What did I do? Density, underwater density. Let's put some rotation, some scale. And you increase this. We'll change the point extent because it's very small, maybe something like 10, 10, 10. And we will want 0.01. Check. I have to put something like 1. Okay. 1.5 maybe. I will increase this to 30 by 30 by 30. Yes, and I forgot something because I subtract from the road and from the underwater, but I need to use the density to remove everything that is as 0. So we'll use a density filter. Let's plug and let's see our grass. We can lower this maybe 0.1 and it looks pretty good now. Let's wait for our virtual texture to actually load and we have a nice landscape with some grass and now we can add some flower. Let's get into our foliage. And we could actually add it there, but I don't want to do it like that. We just copy this. Copy this, plug the landscape. I will just unplug this before crashing my computer. Let's do this. We want way less points. Maybe 0.5 will be nice. And we will need to actually do a difference. This is going to be the source and the difference will be this, because we don't want to spawn the flower on the grass. We want to spawn it a little bit on the side. We will do a binary. And if I check this, yeah, we need to change the seed because the seed is the same. So we are spawning every point on the same place. So we change the seed. For example, this. And we can see that we have a few points. Maybe we will want a little bit more. Maybe this one will increase. And we will just increase this. We don't have a lot of points. Maybe we'll reduce this one to have more chance to spawn the flower. Yes, that's very good. So we can see each point that we have, it's where there is no grass. There is no grass, there is no grass. So we can spawn some little flower there. And it will look very nice. So we take my static mesh spawner. I will just put it there and change the mesh entry. All of this will be the same. I just want to change the static mesh. Let's save and let's check what's going on. Let's play the game and let's see. So it's looking kind of nice. They are maybe a little bit alone. For the little flower like this one, it's alone. Maybe we don't want to do a difference. Let me just remove this to see. How does it look? Okay, so now we have a lot of flower. Because if we do a difference and we don't want the flower on the grass, they are looking kind of alone and going out from where they are. It's looking weird. We can increase the density, filter. We'll increase the number of grass that we have. Roll that in. Okay, so that's looking very nice. We have our little forest with our flower. On our foliage, to make it nice, we could actually add some dead leaf on the road. For example, we have this. There are some dead leaves. And we could actually put them like there on the road, some kind of dead leaf a little bit. To look nice. So I will go into the foliage. We'll do a surface sampler again. Transform point. Zero to 360. And now we need to put them only on the road. So we need to subtract the underwater. But we don't want to subtract the road. We can actually, as grass is everywhere, maybe we can subtract grass and add we will add the road. Road path. And we want the density. Let me show you what we are actually doing. Okay. If we subtract, let's just check the transform point first. You can see we have a lot of points everywhere. They are in the water, they are on the road, they are everywhere. If now I subtract the underwater, everything that is on the layer underwater will be at 0. Then, if I subtract the layer grass, we see that everything is at 0. We could also remove the underwater, as the grass layer is everywhere. So if I do that, everything is at 0 still, underwater, on the road and everything. Now if I add the density by the road path, we will only have the road. You can see that everything is dark, but the road, on the road we have some that are white, some that are grayish. And we can now use a density filter to remove everything. And I don't really want to have the grass in the middle of the road. I would like to have them on the side. And on the side, the density will be lower than on the middle. So I will lower this one and I will lower the second one also. And now, as you are seeing, we have a lot of points. They are on the side of the road. So now I can spawn some stuff. Let let me remove, we'll delete this, we'll delete that. And we will put our little flower, our little leaf. They are very small. Maybe we can increase their size. Maybe we can change our surface sampler. And now we'll add some bigger rock into the forest. For the big rock, I'm gonna use the PCG tree because I don't want the rock to spawn on the tree. So we'll be able to subtract this to do a difference. Not have our rock spawning with the tree. So we'll do the same thing as this. The only thing is that our density filter will be a little bit more strong, and we'll do the source in here. Let's plug that here. We'll change the seed. Let's check this. So we have way too much point. Maybe we can reduce. Like this, maybe it will look nice. So we'll do a static mesh spawner. It will be instant static mesh. It will be the same. We're just gonna change the static mesh. Let's get some medium boulder. Up. Change this one to a large boulder. We'll use this one also. Some large volcanic rock. Up. Okay. Let's plug it in. And now we should have some rock. Remove the debug. We have some rock into the forest. I'm just gonna enable nanite on them. And now if we go into the game, we have some nice rock into our forest. We can also go on them because they have collision. We have some smaller rock. We have some very big rock. It looks good. And something that is very cool is that if I want to change the road, for example, I will get this road, for example, and I would like to move this point. Everything will update. We have to wait a little bit. As you can see, we got some rock spawning there, we got some grass, and we have the road showing, and everything is removing. It's moving with the road. With the road, we just have to wait for the PCG task to update. But it's pretty cool. So almost instantly, we are recalculating all of the stuff that we spawn on the road, the stuff that spawn on the landscape. Everything is recalculating very, very fast. And so now, if we want to actually change the road or create a new one, we could also create a new road. It will take 5 seconds. That's pretty cool. And we can do the same with the river, for example. If I want to, I don't know, for example, change this size and make it a little bit smaller. Everything will update. If I want to move this, that would be weird, but but everything move with PCG on real time. And that's pretty cool. Just the road, they're not changing, they're not following the river. That's normal, we will have to change the road. That's pretty cool. For all the designers, for all the artists, they can actually change and make it very, very easily. That's it for today. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like and to subscribe if you don't want to miss the next one. On the next video, we will see how to use PCG with spline. I wanted to do everything in one video, but it was already too long. So we'll see that on next Wednesday. So you can subscribe to don't miss it. If you want to check how to use the runtime virtual texture on the landscape to improve your frame rate, you can go and check out this video. And for me, I will see you on next Wednesday. Bye.